So today's video, we are going to create a tree without using any add-ons, right? So one add-ons that already available in the Blender is uh, you can say sampling tree. So if you haven't enabled that, so you go and enable that, right? Sap. So here you will see sapling tree, right? So you will have to enable, make sure if you haven't check in that you should do that. Okay, I already enable it, so it will be available here. So I'm going to delete this cube and going to add that one. So to add a sapling tree, either you can come here or you can press shift A and come to the curve, and here you will see sapling tree, right? So here clearly you can see this look like a tree, right? And here you will have lots of options. You can select any of these, right? So for the demonstration purpose, I'm going to create a sampling tree just for example. And the main purpose behind this video is to not only the sapling tree, to introduce the sapling tree, but to add some leaves, the custom leaves, right? Here you will get some default options, right? Which type of tree actually you want to enable here, right? So for example, if you enable this kind of tree, right? But the problem is that you may not need this kind of thing. I mean, in the in actual scenario, you will have to uh, create a custom leaves, and then you want to uh, attach those leaves in the sampling tree. So right now I'm not going to add any leaves here, right? I will stick to geometry, but here in the sampling tree add-ons you will get lots of thing to do, right? So for example, I just uh, took this tree, right? And the main purpose is to work with the leaves actually, how we can attach our custom leaves here, right? So for now, I'm going to just uh, hide this tree, right? We are done with that. But next thing I'm going to do is to create leaves, right? So to create the leaves, you can either have your own leaves, either you can click your outside of your house or surroundings, or you can download those stuff. So right now I just downloaded one leaves for the demonstration purpose, so I'm going to create a leaves here. So I'm just going to drag and drop, right? I just downloaded these leaves from the internet. Uh, I'm going to RY so that we can just draw from here, right? Now, what I'm going to do to create a leaves, I need a mesh that is a plane. I'm going to rotate RX 90. So now it's rotated it, scaling it, right? And placing it over here, right? One more. Now, going to edit mode, enable the wireframe so that we can actually create. So you can see here, I'm going to create a leaves, right? Press S to do that. Okay, not so much. G E. Hmm. So this is how you can draw mesh by uh, taking the reference of any leaves you wish. For example, in my case, I already told you I just downloaded it for our internet. So you can do the same, right? If you already have any leaves with you, that's then okay. And again, E to extrude and G to move, E to extrude, S to scale, G to move, and again E little bit to extrude and G to move. Okay, so here we go. I mean, just for example, and then after that I'm going to create three loop cuts and make sure that these things exactly in between this so that you can create a random variation, rotation, and leaves are actually not that way, right? And after that, I'm going to hide this. Go this thing, right? And get out of edit mode. So now you can see I have a leaf shape, right? This leaf shape is if you go to render mode or material preview, nothing here, right? The reason is that we haven't attached any material, so I'm going to attach a material. So attaching a material, naming leaf, right? I'm not sure of spelling, so you can correct. So here instead of any color, I'm going to give a image reference. So you can click here, go to image texture, and where are you, image texture? Click here, open, go to desktop, and here you can see I have that one, right? Come here in the shading mode, right? In the shading mode, you can see you have uh, image texture that you have already applied, right? But now this is not sufficient actually. The reason is that here you need roughness mapping, normal and a displacement tool. So if you have image for this roughness and any other part, that go ahead, you can clearly do that. No worry about that. For now, I'm going to decrease the specularity, and leaves are actually not so much transparent. I mean, uh, not so much you can say smooth, but rough and the middle in between, right? Now after that, what we need to do, we need to apply the texture. So to apply the texture, go to UV editing, press 1 so that you can come in this front, press A, right? And then select U, and after that you say project from view, right? So as you can see, if you projected it from view, so it will come like that way. Now select A, rotate so that uh, scale it G, scale it, rotate if G. Now here press G, Z, and go to material preview so that you will be able to see here this looks like leaves for you, right? And press A if if you're not happy with that, you can increase the anything here. I mean, the way this looks like, for example, here you can see this white background is coming, so you can hide these things as well here, right? A. Hmm. Okay, this looks good, right? Go to layout, go to material preview section. Now this looks like a leaf for me, right? One thing, this looks not so good, so you can apply subdivision surface. It will give a good shape. Only one is sufficient. If you wish, you can increase two. For example, if I increase, it will get more smooth shape. We don't want that. Need not to add extra geometry because it will create a problem in rendering. Okay, so as you can see, I just created a one leaf here, right? But the problem is that leaves are actually not same type in the tree, right? Some of them will be uh, exactly different one. So different one in the sense some of will be tilted, some of will be different color, some will be you can say dead leaves, their color will be totally brown. So you can create different variation over here, right? So for example, as you can see, and make sure that this section, I mean, you can see this the origins should always be at the end of the leaves, because this is the point where you will attach these leaves to the tree, right? So I mean, you can see this looks like a some sort of thing. So I'm going to collection, make it LEAV leaf, right? And I have both the leaves here, so selecting and moving here, right? Now after that, I'm going to hide this and enable my tree. Now it's time. I just created my leaf, collect my leaf collection. So for example, you can see if I'm not happy with this, so I will go in the you can say uh, edit mode, press 2 for the edge, and alt and select this one, right? And what you can do, instead of RX, you can rotate it little bit, right? So that, I mean, you what you need to do, you need to actually create a variation, right? So for example, you can see I have a variation, but this one is not looking good, but this may be some type of that. Okay, so for example, if instead of going this, if I grid that and select RX, and if I rotate or RZ, so my tree will be sorry, my leaves will be in that shape. I mean, this will look realistic, right? And if you have some different texture for the different thing, so you can create another leaves, and then you can apply that. So for example, I'm just creating it, making it very small, again shift D, making it again small. I mean, that portion will be totally different, I mean, out of this tutorial context. So I'm just leaving it for now. If you have different texture, different colors, you can apply over here. I'm going to apply, right? I'm good with that, and hiding this from the view. Now, sampling tree. Now it's time to add the trees here, right? So the how I'm gonna do that, right? One way is to the it's first of all, you will have to select each and everything, right click, and then you will have to convert it to mesh actually. So if you convert it to mesh and go to edit mode, you will see this looks like a mesh. It seems like that you created uh, same way as uh, we did for the leaf, but Blender already had an add-ons, so he did for us. Now, after that, what we need to do, we need to has a vertex group. Why? Because if we apply, you can see our leaves, so may possible that it will generate over these thick thunks as well. But we don't want that. So to sort out the problem, we have to create a vertex group. Name it leaves vert, right? And you can see the weight is already assigned. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to select circle and enable the wireframe and select by pressing shift. Here I'm going to increase the radius of the selection and selecting those parts where I'm going to apply my leaves, right? Because we cannot add leaf everywhere, because leaves are not, we have to just only the side part of the tree, right? So we will add the leaves accordingly, right? And here you go. Select these portions too, so that the others will not be affected, right? We do not want to add leaves here, right? The main branches, right? The root branch, right? We just want to add those things here. So you can select it randomly, because uh, a tree will be very, you can say, thick part, right? So you can see I just selected these all the parts. This looks good to me. If you're not happy, you can select those part, right? Here I'm going to assign. So if you click here and we'll go to weight paint, so you will see this how it looks. I mean, in the weight paint area, these red marks are actually very high intensity. I mean, whatever the object you will apply here, this will go, but these sections will not be affected, right? Because these all are the you can say blue area, these are the red, and here you can see these are transaction part. I will create a separate tutorial for that, but for now we are good to go. So go here in the object mode, right? I'm going to apply you can say a particle system. So in the particle, go to here. Oh, bingo, you see this the line out of coming those parts. So we are, so instead of this, we are going to apply our leaf, right? So to apply the leaf, go to render section, instead of paths, choose a collection, right? And here you will see the instance collection. So our instance collection name is leaf. Okay, so you can see if I applied, you can see my leaves are here. I mean, my leaves are applied, but this one is not looking good, right? So we are going to the rotation section. Instead of that, we are going to select normal tangent and randomization. If you wish, you can create rotation. This all are the fields are here, right? But we need to extra thing as well, right? What was that? Field weight, no, vertex group. Here we go. In the vertex group, we have to select in which group actually we need to apply. So you will see that the leaves are actually applied over the branches, but not on the main root branch. So these things we have to take care of that. And after that, one more we have to apply, and that is where are you? Pick random. That's use count, need not to render material chill, no, no, type 1, no, not. Hmm. Which part is that? We need random, and instead of faces we have to select vertices. Okay, these were the part were missing. So you may know the difference between the randoms, but this looks uh, what it is, right? But if you go to material preview, you can see this is how tree looks. But the problem is that leaves are actually not so big. So we can make a size like 1. Oh, that's too little, right? You can see. Now we applied our leaves over this tree, right? And we need, if we wish, we can increase the number of leaves, right? So you can see we are good to go now. Now the second part is that we have to apply texture in these branches too, right? The woods part that is remaining. So what we are going to do that, we have to create another material. We make it like a root branch, right? And go to and here instead of base color, select image texture, click here, and apply a wood, right? So you see, we have applied a wood, but this one is not looking good because select A and select U, and here you can show a smart UV projection so that this will looks. Select A, increase the size so that it will look like a real tree layout. Okay, so you can see this looks like a real tree, right? But if you're not happy, make shade smooth. And if you want to get rid of those portions, you will have to work on the UV editing, the material texture part. But for now, I'm going to apply what was that? Modifier. The modifier name is subdivision surface, so that this looks little smoother. But I don't think so. Oh, it was applying. Okay, subdivision surface. Apply. Okay, so 2 is good for me. But if you go to this part, right? I mean, in the renders viewport shading, right? And just instead of light the bulb, you should make it sun. And instead of 1000, make it like 4 or 5 intensity, right? And here after that, you can then rotate and so that you can see the uh, sun coming around here, right? So this looks like a tree actually, right? If you press 1 and if you're not happy with this lighting, you can take yellowish, right? And you can increase intensity up to 10 and apply some rotation. For the example, camera view, shift tilt, S. Now this looks like a tree, right? So this is, and now you can see these portion are looking very reflective. This looks like these are very shiny. But the problem is that they are not shiny in reality. So you will have to add some roughness, right? Roughness for that. So if you go to the shading property, here I have a separate tutorial for that. If you see that, you will get how we can apply the texture, make it look very realistic. But for now, so I'm going to decrease the specularity and increase the roughness, right? So that at least we get rid of those shine that come. Now you can see still this is not real, not looking real. So go to UV editing, press uh, sorry, and A here, and go to layout. This not looks good here, and go to edit, sorry, edit mode, UV editing, press select A, here press U, and if you wish, go to smart UV projection. You will see select A and increase those part. And again, this one is not looking good. So again, go there and press A S if you reduce and go here. Now, still not looking, but that's okay. I mean, this the main purpose of this tutorial is to create a custom leaves and apply over a tree, right? So I hope this will be helpful how you can apply tree over here that. But this in this tutorial I just selected one example of the leaf, but here you can create multiple variation. This one not only this part, but you can apply multiple variation over here too, so that it's look more natural. So for example, as you can see, I created this one, right? So you can see the color of some of the leaves are actually dead. So this color are brown, some of the middle is some of the new, right? So this is how it will look in the reality if you have variation of the leaves in your collection, right? So hope uh, this will be okay to you, right? And then after that you can go to render image. I hope you already know. Okay, so you can hide this part as well. So to hide, you will have to just disable this part. And then if you go to render, oh, that is not coming, but that's okay. So what you can do instead of that, hide this one. Select uh, the leaves and GX, get out of this from the camera view, go to rendering. Oh, my bad. I still hidden those part. Okay, and instead of EV, I'm going to select cycle so that it will look more realistic. Okay, so let it render because I have 4096 samples, so it will take time to render those part. But this is how you will apply custom leaves over samples tree that is already available add-ons in the Blender. Hope that will be okay. Thank you. Bye bye.